Parade Watchers! It is time for a new history video. Today, Snoopy is back for more history as a giant balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And today, after he had a 4-year hiatus, we are here to talk about his 6th version. We now resume in 2006. After 4 years with Charlie Brown kicking that elusive football, United Feature Syndicate brought Snoopy back as Snoopy as the Flying Ace. Unlike the Aviator version, this is the true World War I Flying Ace of Snoopy we all know. Of course, with his aviator hat and goggles, but with the addition of a red scarf and a pair of binoculars. Not only this was the big homecoming for Snoopy after his successful mission to defeat the Red Baron, but he was also named Macy's Holiday Ambassador of 2006.
And that means the Beagle has landed, winging back as a brand new balloon. It's Snoopy as the Flying Ace, which is furnished by United Feature Syndicate.
Over 40 years ago, Snoopy fulfilled his Flying Ace fantasy, put on the goggles, the aviator hat, and that red scarf, which today could circle Lady Liberty's waist 2 times. 330 million people the world over agree happiness is 400 doggy years of Snoopy in any flight of imagination.
Cruising weight for Snoopy as the Flying Ace, 4 times more than the inflated Goodyear blimp. So 50 air traffic controllers make sure he stays on course. One of them, Jeannie Schulz, wife of the legend who brought Snoopy to life, the late, great Charles Schulz.
The United States, and flying at an altitude of 3 times the height of the Wright brothers' first flight is one of our favorite balloons and favorite Peanuts characters, Snoopy, appearing courtesy of United Feature Syndicate.
Snoopy has visited us fairly often since 1968, portraying characters such as an astronaut, an ice skater, a Millennium Usher, and today he is a World War I Flying Ace created by the legendary Charles Schulz. The Peanuts comic strip continues to delight over 330 million readers of all ages all around the world.
That Snoopy definitely gets around from the air to ground patrol. Woodstock guides our Flying Beagle in for a safe landing as Charlie Brown, Lucy, and Linus look on.
Next, Mickey Blonsky from Hairspray, Giant Balloon JoJo, 600 cheerleaders take over the Macy's Parade. And stay tuned for the National Dog Show presented by Purina, 12 noon, right here on NBC.
Here on NBC.
And that's always a lot of fun. And there he blows, snooping around and above Manhattan. Snoopy is the world's most famous Flying Ace. Look at him, he's so good he doesn't even need a plane. Once he dons his red scarf, aviator hat, and goggles, nothing can stop him except maybe gravity.
You know, Snoopy was created in the thought balloon of Charles Schulz, and here 58 years later, Snoopy floats as a balloon. The Flying Beagle is brought to us by United Feature Syndicate. Get room or get ready.
For 2009 and the 2010 parade, they kicked off Peanuts' 60th anniversary.
Get the feeling we should have had for breakfast what he had for breakfast.
I'm telling you.
Snooping around for a landing strip is Snoopy the Flying Ace, created by Charles Schulz and presented by United Feature Syndicate. Snoopy, the immensely popular cartoon beagle from Peanuts and loyal pet to Charlie Brown, turns 60 next year, or 420 in dog years.
Well, once he dons his goggles, his red scarf around his neck, pops on his aviator hat, and straps on those binoculars, Snoopy owns the skies.
Snoopy the balloon weighs as much as 450 Thanksgiving dinners with all the trimmings.
Also leading the parade and snooping overhead is our good pal Snoopy as the Flying Ace. And the Ace comes prepared. Notice the binoculars, the red scarf, the aviator hat, and the vintage goggles. This year marks the 60th anniversary of the Peanuts cartoon phenomenon.
Love him. Also notice that it takes 50 handlers on the ground to keep Snoopy from flying up, and away. You Snoopy fans will be happy to know that next year, an all-new Peanuts animation will be flying your way. Here in our own backyard comes Charlie.
During the 2010 parade and weeks later, a movie was being filmed during that time in New York called Tower Heist, starring Ben Stiller and Eddie Murphy.
First, we have to figure out how to get up to the apartment. Basically, we have to do it on Thanksgiving Day. We realized like the simplest way would probably be the most realistic way. So they just basically sneak into the building while everybody's watching the Snoopy float go by. Because everybody's fascinated by Snoopy.
But then the funny part was the resets. Snoopy would be here, and then he'd go back. And then Snoopy would come in, and he'd come back. It's one of those things that I'm probably always going to remember.
The movie would be released before the 2011 parade on November 4th.
Now with binoculars in hand, aviator hat and goggles on head, and red scarf in place, Snoopy as the Flying Ace flies 50 feet above the ground. Weighing nearly half a ton, Charlie Brown's pet has become very much a part of American pop culture and very much a part of our hearts.
Snoopy looks great for 61 years old, doesn't he? And by the way, Peanuts Worldwide is still going strong as legendary cartoonist Charles Schulz's comic strip Peanuts delights over 330 million readers of all ages all around the world.
Snoopy's inviting you to watch his friends in the National Dog Show presented by Purina. That can be immediately seen following the parade on NBC.
As Snoopy makes...
Unfortunately, after 2011, Snoopy as the Flying Ace had to be retired due to his wear and tear damages, making a total of 6 appearances. Combining with the previous 5, that now makes 34 appearances for Snoopy. Since Macy's Parade Studio didn't have time to make a new Snoopy balloon in 2012, Peanuts Worldwide decided to bring back Charlie Brown and the Elusive Football for 1 year until the Beagle would return, as well with his feather friend.